And for more on what's happening at Buckingham Palace, let's bring in ABC News Royal contributor Omid Scobie for more on that. Omid, thanks for joining us. What are you hearing from the palace? What is the level of concern for the Queen right now?
Hi, Diane. Well, it's really interesting because, of course, when the palace announced the Queen tested positive for COVID, they gave details of her condition. They said that she was suffering from mild cold-like symptoms. And we don't usually get this level of detail about the Queen's health. In fact, the palace are usually very guarded about it, which has continued this morning. They're not giving any updates on her health. I do hear from sources that she's in good spirits. And we also know that she's carrying on with work. And what's so interesting about this is that this sort of carry-on mentality that we're being told about by the palace almost ties in with what we're about to hear from the British government with this Living with COVID plan that's going to be rolled out across England, which will see the end of self-isolating if you test positive for COVID. And so it's almost sending a message out to Britain that if the Queen can get on with her work and deal with it, so can everyone else.
Now, the Queen did have some health issues late last year, now this, and yet she is, as you said, she's continuing to go on with her duties. So do you expect that she'll start slowing down anytime soon?
I mean, we have seen the Queen over the years slow down with certain aspects of her duty. She no longer travels. A lot of the investitures that are carried out at Windsor Castle are carried out by other members of the royal family. But the Queen has always said that to be believed is to be seen. And that's very much the role that she still continues to embrace today. And we will likely see the Queen carrying out some of her duties throughout the week. Now, of course, all of those are in isolation at Windsor Castle. But we have seen recently that that's COVID-safe bubble that palace aides were keeping around the Queen has eased in recent months. In fact, many believe that's how she got COVID in the first place. There's been somewhat of a mini outbreak amongst palace staff at Windsor Castle. So this is the Queen very much trying to get on with things. It sends out a very loud message to the country that she's capable of carrying on with her duties in what is a defining year of her legacy. We're marking, of course, 70 years on the throne. And I think for the palace, it's really important to make sure that she remains as visible and well as possible throughout that time.
And so what's the reaction from the public there right now?
Yeah, there's obviously been a sort of high level of concern for the Queen. I think in some ways the Queen is the nation's grandmother, and people really look to her in a very warm and fond way. You know, let's not forget she was the one that sort of eased the nerves and anxiety of the nation as we really fell into our first COVID lockdown. So the Queen really has been a pillar of strength throughout that time for many. And I think to see her now suffering with some of the symptoms of COVID, even if it is mild, does bring worry. You know, let's not forget, in just over a month's time, she's going to turn 96 years old. And so there are always concerns when someone's of age dealing with what has been a potentially lethal virus. But I think that's why the palace has really gone out of their way to detail what those symptoms are, those minor cold-like symptoms that we've heard about, to put everyone's minds at ease. And I think as we see her throughout the week, she'll carry on with her work. That'll send a loud message that she's capable of carrying on throughout this. But at the same time, she's not made of iron. You know, she is an elderly lady, and that does remain worrying for many, including the family.
All right, Omid Scobie, we appreciate the updates as always. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.